What's going on, everyone? We're back here with Anime Champions, and for today it is all about comparing those astrals. If you have no idea how powerful your astral is, if you do have one of these, well, in today's video you're going to see the difference between the brand new one, Boros, and also Goku. If you're stuck and you have one of these and you don't know whether to do it as a punch build or mage build, you're about to find out which one is more preferred for these. But before we continue, guys, there's news because we recently found out that Universal Astral Pity does exist, and Trademark confirmed this information on another Discord, which is the ACS LB Hub. And this is some really exciting news, because what this basically means is this. Hypothetically speaking, let's say that you have 150 of these summon orbs. You hatch them, you didn't get an astral, you come here, you hatch 100, you still didn't get an astral, you go, you find either a Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2 summon, or even the Easter capsules. If you still didn't get an astral, what I'd recommend that you do from now on is count the amount of capsules that you have hatched, and that becomes your pity, because unfortunately the game doesn't have an official pity counter, so you have to write that information down just so you know what your Universal Astral Pity is at. So basically, in a nutshell, every single capsule that shows you a chance to get an astral, if you hatch that and you didn't get one of these astrals, then all of that counts towards your astral Universal Pity, and that builds up and carries along with you. And it doesn't matter, sometimes people get it out of 500, sometimes 600, sometimes even 800. It's all about luck in the end. But the great news is that this carries on wherever you go, so you have more chances of getting one of these. Now back to the video, where today I'm going to be comparing the basic power of all three of these astrals, whether it's a punch build or a mage build. We're about to find out all of that information. But as you can see, guys, what I decided to do is not make it confusing, so I didn't equip any ruins in all of them. So what you're about to watch is just the raw power, either as a punch build or mage build for each of these units, so you get a better understanding which one is better or which setup is better for that unit. Now for the punch build here, although it doesn't make sense to do this on the DPS dummy, especially for a punch build, we're using it only as a sort of like a measure to see how strong these champions are. 7.91 is what I got on the DPS dummy, but I think a more accurate result would be on the Devourer. Yeah, although it doesn't make sense, of course, to have only one unit equipped. The whole point of this is to see the difference in power, or the numbers between this one and the other ones, just to see the difference. Like, a lot of people think that this one is too weak and the other astrals are just way overpowered than this. Well, maybe this video is gonna change your mind about that. But basically 1.36 Omega A, I believe that's the way they say it for this, or is it just A? I'm not sure. But anyway, we're looking at the numbers, and the numbers say that the total DPS for this is 7.6. Next up is the mage version of Doflamingo, and we're looking for that peak point in which I can just hit the alt button. There we go. There we go. Let's look at the peak and put those numbers down to see the difference between everyone. 10.9 quad, that's when it peaked. And again, this mage build doesn't have any ruins on it. Next up is the Devourer test. I'm just gonna have to skim through this just to show you guys the entire process, and the final result is about 757 quad. That's the mage build Doflamingo. And to see its stats without ruins, 2.34 for the boss DPS. And a lot of people pay attention to the ult duration, because right now a lot of people are just using like between 9 seconds and 10 seconds, sometimes even 11 seconds to make those into mage builds. Anything lower than that, then those units become punch builds, or more preferably into punch builds. Total DPS for this is 4.2 quad, damage dealt is 757 quad. Next up is both of these Gokus. One is the mage and one is the punch. But first off, we're going to start with the punch build. This one, let's find the peak point to see what it peaks at, and that's going to be 8.63 quad. It says 8.8 on the one on the left. I don't know, I think it's not accurate like it once used to be, but those are the numbers for that. And on the Devourer test, this is a beast, by the way. It's not Omega 3. It has like basically 145 Omega 2, but basically 145 and above, and it still does 1.5 Omega A on the Devourer. 3.44 quad is the total boss DPS and also average DPS on this. Again, it doesn't have a ruin on it. If I do equip my usual ruin, it goes to something like either 8 or 9 point something boss DPS. But total DPS here is 8.37 quad, damage dealt 1.5 Omega A. Next up is Goku as a mage, 2.57 quad without the ruin. It just has the ancient magus affixes on it. Let's look for the, I forgot to put the abilities on, but 20.9 quad is what it does alone without being equipped with a team, without a ruin. 20.9 quad on the DPS dummy. But for the Devourer, if you can look at this, it's a big difference between the punch build and this, obviously, but here is the final results. 962 quad on this one here, or actually no, final result is 963 quad for the damage dealt, and total DPS is 5.35 quad. Next up is Boros as a punch build. This one is Omega 3, that means the talents are maxed out. 3.35 quad is the total DPS, or the average DPS, and also boss DPS. And on the dummy, we're looking for that peak point to see its complete power. This is a maxed out warrior build, punch build. 8.19 quad is the max it does. And this is an Omega 3 Astral Boros, whereas Goku did 8.63 quad, and these are what the talents for Goku looks like. It's not maxed out, it's not the best, it could be much better, but with the current results, I think it did really well. However, on the Devourer though, Boros did slightly, very slightly, tiny bit of difference between this and Goku. Just by literally 0.1 difference, or 0.01 difference. Or is it 0.02 difference? 1.51 Omega A is the damage over here. And again, 3.35 quad. We're gonna have to look at this one more time just so you guys know that this is the one I definitely used. A lot of people maybe like edit their videos to give misinformation, but this is legit. Now, what it did is 8.39 quad is the total DPS, and that's only a 0.02 quad difference between Boros and Goku, and that's only because of the Omega 3 talents on Boros. Now, what you can tell from the video, guys, is that if you're thinking of punch build versus mage build, well, the answer for the Astrals right now is punch build. Since punch is meta in the game right now, you're better off having 6 units as punch and then 3 of them as mages. That's the perfect team for tournaments, for everything in the game, except of course for the DPS dummy, where you're gonna have to have either scaling units or mages there. Now that you can only equip 1 unique Astral per team, it doesn't make any sense to have a mage in your team, unless maybe you have 2 of the same Astrals. In that case, you can make 1 into a mage and 1 into a punch, but if you only have 1, stick to punch builds and don't change that unless the meta changes. As for the brand new Astral Doflamingo, basically the power difference between that and Boros is as if it's 2 worlds apart. Let's say that the Arcane Kingdom has an Astral, then that would be slightly better than the brand new Astral today. But comparing this to Boros, even if it's not an Omega 3, it's still like 2 champions, 2 different Astrals between each other. And now, for the 10,000 Robux giveaway, in which 5 winners are each going to win 2,000 Robux worth of something that has to do with anime champions, as long as it's in the game, because that's what I want to do. I want to support the game because I love it, and I'm sure you guys do as well. First winner, congrats to you. Moving on to the next, here we go. Sleeping Empress. Is it still good to use Godly Apex late game? Late game, no, but in the early stages as a beginner, yes. It's going to help you out. Any Godly will help you out. Third winner, Rexuary, congrats to you. Moving on to the 4th winner here. I don't know how you do get Godly's Astral. I opened 1,000 capsules and got 3 Godly Galaxy 1. Ooh, I wish you the best of luck in the future. I hope that the Astral Pity, the Universal Astral Pity, works out for you. Again, Mr. Illusion, congrats. 5th winner on here, congrats to you guys. Moving on to the next giveaway, this is for the Robux gift card. And that's gonna be 3 Affle. Oh, I'm familiar with that name. Congrats to you for winning the $25, I was gonna say 25,000, $25 Roblox gift card. That is all from me, everyone. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, it would mean a lot to me if you can leave a like down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. That would really mean a lot to me. Hope that you guys have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all on the next one.